Hey everyone, how are you today? Today is Tuesday, December 30th, 2025. It's John Taylor on my prop trading and news desk today. I hope everyone has a great day. Hey, do me a favor, like and share, and then share the video and let's get the word out. I want to welcome all of my new subscribers. My channel is getting a lot of traction right now. Silver bullion news and S&P futures tread water ahead of FOMC meeting. I go over geopolitics and then socioeconomics, and then I give you free alpha at the end of the video and give you my trading plan for the day. I'm not a financial advisor, it's informational purposes only. So what's being reported, Wall Street is holding pattern as wild 2025 winds down, getting ready for the new year. Channel tunnel disruption affects Eurostar and vehicle shuttle services. 7 things you might know about dividends. This is what's being reported on a bar chart for today. FOMC meetings, not a lot on the calendar. Dow earnings, Tractor Supply, Decker Outdoors, how to buy PayPal for a 29% discount and achieve a dividend, Pulte Group, news on it. So let's go over the major market overview real quick here. S&P futures are flat. The minis and NASDAQ minis are off 23 points. Dow futures are flat. The VIX, real low volatility at 16.50. The Dixie at 97.850, the US dollar. The 10-year at 112-195. Crude oil's at 58.40. There's been news, obviously, with the blockade of Venezuela oil. Nat gas at $4.11. Gold is back up again today, 58 points. Silver bullion is back up. It had a nice shakeout. It's up $5.30 to 75.75. So, I had basically effectively cornered the precious metals market, purchasing thousands of, and I got rolls and rolls of these. These are all mercury dimes, the constitutional silver. And then here, I'll show you these too. I have rolls and rolls of these things. This is all American made, things and products here. And I got thousands of products that I've manufactured out of silver bullion. I'll show you these products here. These are all like half-gram American Eagles. You can't see them so well, but I sell those every day on eBay, and they're selling at some like couple 2,000-3,000% profit margin for me. So I've cornered the commodity markets on the precious metals complex, gold, silver. Indirectly, I've cornered such. So it's fun, and so this always happens for me. So now here, Tesla. There's news on Tesla. They're not producing good reports as far as their cars are concerned. NVIDIA, Micron Technologies, Palantir's active, Amazon, Intel's active, big investment in Intel recently, news. Rocket Labs is active, and Meta Platforms. So this is all being reported on bar chart. So I'll go over that in a minute. I'm going to look at the commodities. I'm not a commodity trading advisor. U.S. tariffs, we got tariffs at 80-year highs, and they're here to stay. This is what's being reported on Yahoo Finance. The U.S. dollar has just been crunched compared to the world's other currencies, compared to Bitcoin, etc. Stock futures steady with Fed minutes on deck. Stay with me to the end. I give you free alpha at the end. And always remember just to invest in yourself because you're worth it. And so, all right, Tesla compiles downbeat sales estimates. What Buffett favorite indicator is saying about the stock market. Stocks are overbought as far as GDP is concerned. But GDP, if you notice, it keeps being upgraded because of hyperinflation. So stocks, as the Fed keeps lowering interest rates, the stock market can keep pumping. So I don't know. I don't try to guess it. Silver's next move. So I think silver, the trend is just getting started. So I bought the dip 3 years ago in silver bullion, backed the truck up. And so now I'm a seller of some of my silver products. and I got to find a place for it to go on the commodity side. So orange juice is the most oversold as far as weighted alpha. So it doesn't have much of a shelf life though, but orange juice isn't worth the squeeze. AI trades next leg. It's all about pick and shovel stocks. Nvidia, Korea crushes global benchmark with best stock rally since 1999. Meta to acquire Manus in a $2 billion bet on AI agents. A lot of news there. Trump says he might fire Powell. So they're trying to get, a new Fed chairman in there. I don't know if it really makes a difference anyway. SoftBank has completed its $40 billion investment in OpenAI. Goldman helps lead financial for a 5 gigawatt Texas AI power site. I think Goldman Sachs, they're amazing company. So is Merrill Lynch. I have a Merrill Lynch account. They do very well. And the Merrill Edge account. It's excellent. Great research from Goldman Sachs and then also from Merrill Lynch. TikTok deal. Walmart outage affects thousands of shoppers. Been news on Walmart. So the average stock portfolio, and it says here Meta did a $2 billion deal. Santa Claus rally, Buffett's legacy. Buffett's going to retire here in a few days. Okay, so that's what we have basically on Yahoo Finance. Let's look at the news on CNN here real quick. I like CNN. That's on the left. Look at the left side. And then we'll look at Fox News on the right. So it says here, CIA carried out drone strike on port facility in Venezuelan coast. After video, different federal agencies surge resources to Minnesota. News on it. More artists pull out of Kennedy Center. So they don't like the name change on the Kennedy Center. So Saudi Arabia accuses Abu Dhabi, UAE rejection. So this is the news on the left. A lot of it's not PC, you can't even talk about. So are we at war with Venezuela? That oil is, the land of Venezuela is full of, especially Lake Maracaibo area with all those oil wells. So we shall see how that plays out. So stay with me to the end, and then give my videos a like and a share. And I want to welcome all. I've gained about 50 new subscribers recently because of such. Glaciers are melting, and it's reawakening the world's most dangerous volcanoes. Wow. So Beyonce declared the 5th billionaire musician by Forbes. So Beyonce, you got news on Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Everyone gets ready for the news here. Now let's look at Fox News here. What's going on with Fox? So stay with me. Again, I give you free alpha. I'm going to go over my trading plan. HUD uncovers billions in questionable payments under Biden administration. This is the Fox News. Video shows parents defrauding taxpayers. And Minnesota daycare responds to video, a fraud scheme, and passport panic. Wealthy Americans buy golden visas as insurance against economic uncertainty. A lot of people are leaving the U.S. to go, retire overseas, and what are known as expats or expatriates. Ex-NFL kicker uses tennis match, and there's news here. And so amazing news on the right. So can't report on a lot of it. Again, it's not PC, but so let's kind of go over my trading plan for today. Kind of look at it. Stock market's opened about 10 minutes now. So silver, again, I'm a seller of silver. I own thousands of these coins here. And silver is, I've been selling these. I'll show you these. I got these stored up. These are amazing products. All right. I got so many of them. These American Eagles are excellent products. Try to see these here. Amazing product here, American Eagles. I'll show you that. All right, so I've been purchasing these over the last like 5 years or so in bulk, and then storing those up. And it's true, no one has ever made any money with silver bullion. I mean, it's just a foundational asset. So it's a great foundation to own. It doesn't ever change in value either, but it's good right now for myself. So because the reason is because it's a foundational asset. So my trading plan for today is I'll DCA Bitcoin, I'll DCA SPY ETF, I'll DCA BKCH, the blockchain ETF BLOK, I'll DCA some ETHE Ethereum, and then I'm taking my hyperinflated dollars that I have accumulated by selling my products, the silver bullion products, and then I got to find a place for those. So let's look at the weighted alpha. So I'm going to give you my opinion only on how I look at commodity markets. Again, I'm not a commodity trading advisor. I might even put the link in there on bar chart. So it's a futures long-term trends on bar chart. The greatest weighted alpha right now is silver, platinum, palladium, dry whey, gold, and copper. All right, so these are up. Silver bullion is the strongest. So what most people do is they'll purchase the greatest weighted alpha, silver bullion, platinum, and palladium, because it's going up and they chase the trend. I do the opposite. I'm a seller of silver, platinum, and palladium and gold. Not completely, but I'm selling into that weighted alpha strength. And then if I look at the bottom of the list, I'll kind of look at the commodities that have the greatest negative weighted alpha is orange juice, butter, cash settled, rough rice, S&P 500 VIX, cocoa, cheese settled lumber, So these are, and then sugar and class 3 milk and whey. So these are the commodities that are oversold as far as its weighted alpha. So in a perfect world, I'd be a seller of silver bullion into the strength and then purchasing orange juice. It's just that orange juice doesn't have that great of a shelf life. So I'll look at some other research here that I've done on futures. Let's take a look at this. I know it's my videos, you got to stay with me. So looking at the weighted alpha, VIX, the VIX is oversold, so there's been nothing but uptrend in stocks, right? So you can purchase volatility. Sugar is oversold. So the greatest negative weighted alpha on an asset that I would want to purchase is Bitcoin, with a negative weighted alpha of about 16 to 20, and then Ethereum is about negative 16 weighted alpha. So I would be a seller of some of the silver bullion, which I am, and then I'm using those hyperinflated dollars then to purchase Bitcoin. Because everyone, look at Ethereum and Bitcoin, and everyone's selling Bitcoin, saying it's no good. It's all the weighted alpha. It's just that shift. So right now, silver bullion is being sold by myself, and then I'm purchasing Bitcoin and Ethereum because of the negative weighted alpha. So that's free. Not only it's free alpha, but it's not investment advice. It's just opinion only. And so that's what I have on bar chart on my trading plan for today. It's just having a great time, man, on my trading desk, go over the news. Let's see what Wall Street is saying. Wall Street gives some good perspective on different news. IPO letting after pop, Venture Global, CoreWeave, Figma, Klarna, bullish, Circle, Internet. So the 20 IPOs, 14 of them trade below their IPO price. So the IPOs, many plunged from their post-IPO pop. Status of the US dollar as a global reserve currency. It's the lowest since 1994. So Wolf Richter does some really good, interesting perspective on news on the economy. So the US dollar is like this. So I'll put a link in my description below. And the title of the book is How to Be Your Own Central Bank. So you can't depend on, the Federal Reserve's going to save the day, or the government's going to save you, or everything's, you get your stimmy checks. So my household received 2 stimmy checks, and I'm thankful to President Trump for that. Send me the stimmy check. It was amazing. I guess it was back in 2020 during the lockdowns. And then I purchased $200. I got 2 $1,600 stimmy checks, and I purchased $200 worth of forever stamps from the U.S. Postal Service. And then I purchased $3,000 worth of silver bullion casting grain that was used to fabricate these products that I was telling you about. So now these products that I've used the casting grain from my stimmy check, I'm selling now into hyperinflation bubble in the precious metals complex. So it's amazing. So the stimmy check is still working for me. I'm so thankful for that, and help build back the economy. And all of my silver bullion that I purchased, it's all sourced here in the good old US of A. So I'm running about 16 minutes. So IPOs are not doing well. All right. Status of the US dollar as a global reserve currency drops. Central banks diversify their holdings into dozen smaller non-traditional reserve currencies. Also, there's Basel III, which allows banks to hold gold bullion as a reserve currency for them. So that's new. It's helping to drive up the price of gold. U.S. government interest payments to tax receipts, up, man. So, the U.S. economy to watch out. Economy is running hot. Strong consumer spending. Lennar further cuts average sales price. So Lennar is not doing so well on trying to sell houses. So says layoffs show no signs of weakening. The artificial intelligence is taking a lot of jobs because of automation. So people working with robots, I can do your job, and you don't need, to show up at work. So soon enough, that's really what's happening in the economy. So again, check out my ebook below. You can read it for free on Amazon Kindle, How to Be Your Own Central Bank. And so I'm in it to win it. I don't, chase the trends. I always buy the dip on assets. Orange juice in a perfect world right now, I'd be a purchaser of it, but it doesn't have the shelf life like I was saying. I know it's repetitive, but I do my own research. I kind of speak to the computer screen on the news stories and then formulate my trading plan. So again, I'm selling the hyperinflated dollar asset, which is the silver, platinum, and palladium and gold market. Not all of it, but I sell into that weighted alpha, and then I take those resources and then purchase the asset that's the most oversold with its negative weighted alpha, and that would be Bitcoin. So I did the same thing with silver, gold, platinum, and palladium about 4 years ago. Started backing the truck up and purchasing it when it was, when the metals complex was in the most negative weighted alpha on the bar chart. And now we're seeing a shift. So when that shift transpires, it's very interesting. So let's look at my, I got, Bitcoin's pumping this morning, doing great with it. So let's see what we have here. Bitcoin at 88,228. It could easily go to 100, 150,000 easily with a new all-time high. My average price for Bitcoin, though, is 93,377, and it's currently changing wallets at 88,312. and it's pumping this morning. It's doing good. So let's take a look at my trading plan for the Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up 526 points, breaking out this morning. Had a nice dippy dip. I bought the dip in Bitcoin at 86,720, and now it's changing wallets, like I said, at like 88,360. So that trade's been nice. So we shall see. Now I'll continue to purchase the Bitcoin. I like Ethereum. I own Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Zcash, XRP, Ripple. I own some Dogecoin, some Chainlink, and then Litecoin also too. So I own these cryptos. So I have an allocation to them. Bitcoin looking good. I bought Bitcoin, and then on the dippy dip at last week at, 86,737 approximately. Got a frog in my throat. And then sold it at nearly 89,000. So I did like a 3,000 point pump on those things. Man, so I just continue to DCA Bitcoin twice a month. That's part of my trading plan. And then I set my pivot points every day. And then on bar chart, it's just amazing. I've used them since before they had a website back in the late 80s. So here's my limit. I always use limit GTC orders. So whenever I had the patience to let a market come to me, I always made money in my operations. And that's a quote from Jesse Livermore. So I set pivot point trades every day. Most people, when they trade, they'll find market, okay, it dips like this, forms a cup and a handle, and then it breaks out like this, one and then two, and then they chase it because they wait for confirmation. I don't do so. I let the market come to me, and I'm patient. I don't sit in front of a computer screen and try to guess the trend. That's how Jesse Livermore went bust out. So I do exactly 100% opposite of Livermore's trading system. I DCA Bitcoin every twice a month, and then I set my pivot points, and I let the market come to me at the pivot point. So right now I've got open GTC orders on Bitcoin at 86,000, 84,738, and 82,564. And my last pivot point purchase was at 86,720, and I could actually sell that for a nice profit. 86,720, and now pumping to 88,800. So that's about 1,100 point pump, just letting the market come to me at the pivot points. So I even penned an ebook. I put it in my previous videos, Riding the Waves of Bitcoin. So it's a great read. So check out the links below. Read the risk disclosure on there, not financial advisor. I was a financial advisor many years ago, and now I just give myself financial advice. So I might just take a trade, a profitable 1,200 point trade here on Bitcoin. We shall see. So that's all I have. I'm running about 23 minutes. Bitcoin's looking good. Ethereum is pumping this morning. Ethereum is trading wallets at last price about 3,000. Pumping nice. See if we're going to get a pump on Ethereum greater than 3,000. Solana's looking good. I own Solana. So in fair disclosure, I own these cryptos, but again, not financial advice. Solana's looking good at 125. And then Zcash, the privacy tokens, thinly traded, but they're pumping. And XRP's pumping nice at $1.87. So I own Ripple. So I'll DCA Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and then also look at Dogecoin and Chainlink, Dog with Hat, You know, I'm a dog with hat right here. I got my new Bentley hat. Check this out. This thing's nice. Look, I got this when I was at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, trying to sell me a mega yacht. So special thanks to Hallman. See Hallman Motors? They're in Fort Lauderdale. They do great work. So Bitcoin is pumping. Should I sell it and take a profit, you know, from the pivot points? So whenever I had the patience to wait, so open orders again for Bitcoin at 86,000, 84,738, and 82,500. So as the market dips, Livermore would be shorting and pyramiding into a short position. I do the exact opposite. As it dips, I'm accumulating the asset on the price retracement, and then when everyone else is chasing it like they are now, on confirmation, because it's stochastic and the RSI and MACD have crossed over, I sell into that strength and take the profit. So that's what's always worked for myself, doing the opposite. So that's what I have for today, everyone. Again, it's John Taylor. I'm on my news desk and prop trading desk, giving you free alpha. You know, and I say this every day, I give thanks for my abundant supply now manifested. I have it now. So remember, invest in yourself. You know, you're worth it. You know, and give yourself financial advice. You know, look at the oversold commodities, you know, and like orange juice and things that are oversold technically, and then accumulate such, and then be patient, and then sell some of the silver bullion. You know, it had a big parabolic move like this, and then it like this, dips down like this, and then now it continues to go. It's called the shakeout. So the market shook yesterday, and so, you know, I don't know, I've heard some rumblings that, you know, silver bullion could easily go to $200 an ounce. So that's the reason that I don't sell all of it. So Bitcoin's pumping. Look at that. Amazing. At 80, it's going to clear 89,000 here soon. So this is my dilemma I always find myself in. I purchased Bitcoin at 86,720, and it's now at 89,000. So should I take a profit, or do I sit tight and then just, you know, let the market run and then try to get more profit out of it? So I'm constantly in this dilemma. And so that's what I have for today. Everyone, Happy New Year. You know, Merry Christmas, you know, and what a great day. Again, about 27 minutes. Do me a favor, you know, like and share. And again, I want to welcome all of my great new subscribers. Got a whole bunch of new subscribers, got a lot of traction on my channel, and have a great day. And always buy the dip when everyone else is chasing, sell into the strength. Have a great, wonderful day. Again, it's John Taylor on his news desk and prop trading desk. And have a wonderful, super awesome day. Thanks, everyone.